to the unapologetic truth, the channel where we speak truth and don't apologize for why. Truth never apologizes. Alright, today we're going to get to something that a lot of people has been arguing about over the past several years, which is the flat earth, right? Okay. Me personally, I believe the earth is flat. Let me explain why. I believe the earth is flat because in ancient times, you have ancient civilizations who stated that the earth was flat, right? And a lot of people, including scientists, like to say, oh, these people didn't know what they were talking about. But then the same scientists that say that the people didn't know what they were talking about claim these same people that claim the earth was flat knew about certain different stars and how they aligned and the path of these stars. So how are you going to say that these people didn't know what they were talking about the flat earth, but then in the same breath say that these same people knew about certain stars that you didn't know about until you heard them say it and you went and researched it yourself? Make that make sense to me. So evidently, if they knew about certain stars that you didn't know about until you went and researched it yourself, if they knew about these stars, why can they not know that the earth was flat? That don't make sense. Right? Alright. Now, second reason why I feel like the earth is flat is because when you read the Bible, I know a lot of you probably don't believe in the Bible, but regardless of what you believe or not, I'm not here to change what you believe. I'm here to state facts. Facts is the Bible is an accurate historical document that documented a lot of historical events that was proven, that has been proven by archaeology. Archaeology substantiates the Bible. So we know that the Bible is true if archaeology substantiates the accuracy of the historical events. Right? Let's get to the first video about the flat earth, okay?
The Flat Earth International Conference is taking place in Denver, where 800 flat earthers from around the world are going to meet. Going into this, I thought flat earth was growing quickly in Scotland, but America is getting behind flat earth on a totally different level.
This thing is growing at an exponential rate, and I don't think people understand exactly how big this is getting.
For me, like as a Christian, when I heard about flat earth, it literally nailed like so many verses in the Bible, and it brought it to life for me. So you can't believe in the Big Bang, you can't believe in evolution. You pretty much are left with at least like a divine entity.
Well, if there is a creator, then that means that we're special. As a matter of fact, we're the apple of God's eye. And then all those passages that are in the ancient book of the Bible are true.
It's challenging at some points because some people don't want to hear the truth and they rebuke you a little bit, but it's alright because they hated him first, which is Jesus.
You have evolution on a flat, enclosed, domed earth.
Yeah, I'm not a shape-shifting monkey.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, the flat earth is
And that's another thing. See, I don't get how you believe science when science blatantly told you lies. Like saying, for instance, the evolution theory. It's not fact, it's a theory, right? Okay. Evolution theory says that man was evolutionized from monkeys. If you think logically, that's impossible. Because first of all, if evolution, if people derived from monkeys. If monkeys evolutionized people, why are there still monkeys? Shouldn't all the monkeys evolutionize into humans? Not only that, should they find some kind of fossil, some type of fossil, where a monkey died in a process of changing or evolutionized into a human? Do you see how logic beats out mainstream scientists, which are puppets of the elite? They purposely put out false information to make you believe these different things for a certain agenda. If we knew that the earth was flat, if everyone as a whole knew that the earth was flat, then and enclosed in a dome, then that means the biggest frauds that man has ever known is NASA. NASA makes a lot of money from y'all. They take a lot of money from you, from your taxes, your hard-earned tax money. They take it from you, and then they make this movie showing people in space, but really, they're not in space, they're here on Earth. But remember, we have Hollywood. Hollywood made things look real, right? So they make this Hollywood motion movie to make you think that they actually went out into space when they actually didn't. So knowing the Earth was flat would discredit and disprove NASA. It's a big agenda. You do know they're taking your money from you and put it in their pockets. Let's get on with the video.
In the Bible is proving flat Earth.
Genesis says the sun is its own light and the moon is its own light. But NASA says the moon reflects the sun. So it's like someone's lying.
Like I was homeschooled and
Somebody's lying. See what I'm saying? When NASA come out with something, it does not make sense. Scientifically, it does not make sense. If you use their science against actual logic, you will see that their science actually are lies. It's not real science. It's pseudoscience. A lot of their theories does not make sense. That's why it's called a theory, not fact. Why they always, when they come up with something, they always say the so-and-so theory. Because it's not proven. You cannot prove it. If you can't prove something, why should I believe something that you cannot prove? This is where logic comes into play, and a lot of you guys are nothing but peons to them because they know that you believe everything that comes out of their mouth because you believe their pseudoscience. Instead of doing research on your own, thinking logically, and doing research on your own, you rather believe what another man says. Let's get back to the clip.
finally for my kids.
Alright, so now we see there's a lot of people that believe in the flat earth because it is true. To me, it's not a theory. It is a fact substantiated by ancient civilizations. Not only ancient civilizations, also substantiated by various of experiments. But it wasn't experiments to show the earth was flat or round. It was just an experiment. Right? They didn't set out to, I'm going to show you in a minute. They didn't set out to prove that the earth is round or flat. They just did an experiment to show you earth from a certain amount of miles above the earth. All right. Now, this next clip we're gonna get to is an engineer, right? I believe this man because he's an actual engineer that's well known. He's well known. And not only well known, why would they silence this man if he was speaking if he wasn't speaking any kind of truth? Why didn't they just come out and try to debunk him? They just plain out silence the man. Threaten him, his family, and his job, his career. Because he was speaking out, telling the truth. Do you think the elites want you to know that they use NASA to funnel your money, your hard tax earned money into their accounts? No, they don't want you to know that. So they don't want this truth to go forward. So they use peons, like most of you guys are, that believe their science, their pseudoscience, because science is not fake. You have real science and you have pseudoscience. Their pseudoscience, you believe it. That's why I call you a peon. Because instead of using logic and doing research on your own, you rather listen to somebody else that's evidently lying to you. You think your government really care about you? Do you? Because they don't. And it's evident every single day that they don't care about you. Alright, let's get to this other next clip. Brian Mullins, man. He's an engineer. He's a well-known engineer. Right? And we're going to see what this guy says about, is the earth round or is the earth flat?
Hi, I'm Brian Mullen, and this is Force the Line. Now, 1 year ago today, there was no doubt in my mind that this is a model of the world in which we live. Little did I know that a month later, I would stumble onto flat earth theory, which sounds ridiculous when you first hear it. Flat earth, the whole idea is, you're gonna fall off the edge. We were taught in school that the silly ancients believed that the earth was flat, and that Columbus sailed to America and basically proved that it was a ball. That's what I was taught as a kid. And so I started seeing these flat earth videos popping up constantly on YouTube, and started seeing some chat about it on the internet. And I just started thinking to myself, this is ridiculous. I was always a huge nerd when I was a kid. I watched all the Star Treks, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, all that stuff. Loved Star Wars. Played a ton of video games. Star Wars X-Wing is still one of my all-time favorite video games. And so
Now see, in schools is not to teach you real history, period. They don't teach you actual history. They teach you what they wanted, what the elites want them to teach you. This is why most of you go to public schools. Now, when you go to certain schools like the Jewish schools and many other people, when you go to their schools, they teach you the real things. Excuse me. They teach you the real history. They teach you about the real earth. Without you knowing this, they're making a lot of money. Believe it. Follow the money. That's all you gotta do. Follow the money. All right, let's get back to the clip.
The idea that there's that we're not a spinning ball in space, kind of really threw me off. There's no planets out there. It's not what we think it is. I'm just like, this is ridiculous. I'm going to prove this wrong. So I set out to do so. One of the things that caught my attention about flat Earth theory was that,
listen to this guy. He was not a believer that the Earth was flat. He was not a believer. What did he do? He did his own research and used logic. It's simple. Do your own research. Forget about what they taught you in schools and what the government teaches you and what NASA's teaching you, and do your own research from scratch. Them ancient civilizations was not wrong. They knew what they were talking about. Like I said before, how you gonna say that they don't know what they're talking about their own earth they live on, but they know exactly the positioning and exactly what stars look like from what I said. They say millions of miles away, which I highly doubt that too. You know what I mean? But how do they know this? But not know about their own earth. It makes no sense. You have to use logic.
We can see things much farther away than we should be able to if the surface of the Earth is curved, based on a curvature or a circumference of 25,000 miles. So, first thing I did, I got some binoculars. I drove over to Cape Canaveral, because I live very close to there, just to bring some irony into it as well. And I started to lay down on the beach and look at things that were 6-7 miles away to the north. I looked at the port of Canaveral, at the beach that juts out a little bit from the beach south of it, and I could see it. I could see the waves washing up on it, and based on a sphere with a circumference of 25,000 miles, that shouldn't be possible. I found the Flat Earth community, a man named Mike Poundy, came up with this chart. Very good chart. So this is a great contribution to the world, in my opinion, to get an idea of how much drop there should be from level view. Okay? To help you visualize what this is saying is, if you were to draw in AutoCAD or any other drafting software, MicroStation or anything else, a circle with a radius of 3,959 miles, and then draw a line tangent to that circle, at every mile from that tangent point, you should see so much drop.
Right.
Now that tangent line is assuming that your view is level. When you look out over a surface of water, your view is level. I think it's level, right? People argue that when you're looking at things in the distance, you're actually looking down, and that this isn't right. But I think my view is level. When I'm standing here upright and looking out, I think my view is pretty much level. And I see things across a body of water. I don't think I'm looking down at them. But the real proof for me came when I went to Lake Apopka.
So how is that possible to look straight out and you see things miles away across the ocean, but you're looking down at those objects? So you're saying that our vision goes out and then curve down? That makes no sense. Because when you're standing upright and you're looking forward, your eye level is level. That's why it's called eye level. It's leveled. Your vision cannot go out and then look curved down. That makes no sense. If you think logically, what sense does that make? Someone comment down below and tell me what sense does that make. All right, let's get back to it.
In Florida, the second largest lake in Florida. There are areas of the lake where there's an 8-mile stretch across. I took my telescope out there and I set it. I actually put the tripod in the water and I set the telescope about 3 feet above the surface of the water, and I could see the shore on the other side. And that doesn't make any sense, because when you look at the curvature chart, you can see that at 8 miles, there should be roughly a 42-foot drop, right? Almost 43 feet. Now, subtracting the height of my telescope, because it's above the water, take about 3 feet, roughly there should be a little under a 40-foot drop to the shore on the other side. But I could see it. I shouldn't be able to see it. There should be a curve of water in the way. This was the biggest problem I found. And then I started observing the sky. I had taken a...
Now he is using real science. This is real science. After a certain amount of miles, there's always going to be a drop off if the earth was round. You use a telescope and look across the ocean, you should not be able to see what's on the other side of that ocean because of the curvature, right? You can't say, oh, when you look through the telescope and you see the objects on the other side, you're looking down. How when a telescope is leveled? It makes no sense. The telescope is mainly meant to look straight across or straight up, not curve your vision down 40 feet to see something on the other side. It makes no sense. Let's get more.
Astronomy a few years ago, and I'd always questioned, I'd walk out of astronomy, I took it in the fall, and I'd walk out after class, after discussing galaxies and nebulas and all these things, and I'd just look at the sky and just think, where is this stuff? Of course, back then I just thought I needed a more powerful telescope or access to the Hubble, which I have questions of whether that thing even exists now. But I don't know. I couldn't prove it wrong. I couldn't prove flat Earth theory wrong. I thought it would be so easy to do, and it was actually very difficult to do. And I became so obsessed with this that I actually started my own series on YouTube called Balls Out Physics. And the whole purpose of the series was to put the ball model to the test, to really throw the questions out there and to get some feedback from people. I made some errors in my videos, and I have to go back and correct those errors. In the words of the great John F. Kennedy, an error does not become a mistake until we refuse to correct it. So I will correct some of those errors. However, I don't think that anything I've done in my videos is absolutely wrong. I just need to fix some things. But anyway, my last video was released at the end of September. I released it at the end of September. And then I did a radio interview on flat Earth and other hot potatoes. And I was going to keep going with my series, but then, well, I had a wrench thrown in my gears. A very wise retired surveyor, 32 years, contacted me at work. He saw my videos and figured out where I worked and gave me a call. And we discussed an experiment that he deemed the plumbicular experiment about using lasers, and came up with a way that we could actually try to measure the curvature to prove this. And then shortly after that, he sent me a link to the Rectilineator documentary, which is actually the backbone of concave Earth theory. Concave Earth basically is the theory that we do live in a sphere. In a sphere. We're on the inside of the sphere, and that the Earth curves up away from us. And we just can't see the curve because of an optical illusion. I looked into this some too. And right now, I'm not going to say that the Earth is a convex sphere, which is this model, that the Earth is flat, or that the Earth is concave. At the moment, I really don't know. The only thing I do know is that I can see things farther away that I should be able to. And observing the celestial bodies with my telescope and watching the sun and the moon, I'm having a really tough time believing that they're that far away. The sun and the moon move through the same path in the sky without being told that the sun is 93 million miles away and that we are rotating, and that's what makes...
Okay, now, the sun being 93 million miles away is impossible. If the sun is 93 million miles away, then how in the world can we see it? But we can't see something across the ocean. Do you get what I'm getting at? You saying that we can't see nothing across the ocean because of a curvature. but we can see the sun 93 million miles away. What sense does that make? If the sun was 93 million miles away, then how in the world does it leave a hot spot up on the ocean? How? How does the sun that's 93 million miles away leave a hot spot on the ocean? How does the sun leave a hot spot on the clouds if it's 93 million miles away? How can you feel the heat from the sun if it's 93 million miles away? Let me give you an example. Okay. California, right? It doesn't snow. Don't snow in California, right? It snows 3,000 miles away, which is like Missouri. And we give Missouri as an example. Shouldn't we feel, when it snows, when it blizzards real bad in Missouri, shouldn't we be able to feel the breeze from that cold or some type of coldness from there? That's only 3,000 miles away. But we can feel the sun's heat 93 million miles away? Don't make sense. It does not make sense. You would not be able to feel the sun's rays, the heat from the sun, if it's 93 million miles away. They say that the earth is, like he just said, they say the earth is spinning. How is the earth spinning at hundreds of some thousand miles an hour, but things still stay up on the earth? Give you an example of that. A lot of y'all millennials might not know nothing about this, so you can just exclude this. I'm talking to you ones who was born in the 80s and the 90s, who grew up in the 80s and the 90s. And in the parks, we used to have something called a merry-go-round. As a kid, we played on this merry-go-round, which is a little thing you hold on. Someone spin you around as fast as they can, and you hold on. Now, if that person spins us around fast and fast around the merry-go-round and we let go, what would happen? You will fall off the merry-go-round, not stay on. So how is it, and that's not going hundreds of some miles an hour. So how is it possible that the earth is spinning hundreds of some thousand miles an hour, but things still stay solid upon the earth, including you as a person? Don't give me what you call it? It's called don't give me we have the atmosphere and the atmosphere this and the atmosphere that. No, I don't want to hear that, because evidently they shoot rockets into the atmosphere. Right? So don't give me nothing about it. Don't give me that. Don't give me the gravity theory. Because yes, gravity is a theory. They have not proved gravity yet. So you mean to tell me that these people went to the moon, right? And gravity on the moon, and you can jump up and down real slow, and you walk slow, and you can just float through the earth for a few seconds when you jump. But here on Earth, you can't do that. They both are in space, right? The Earth and the Moon are both in space, right? So why does one body of object has gravity, but the other one don't? How can we can't jump up on Earth and float for a few seconds in the air while we jump across? Does not make sense at all. Does not make sense.
Makes it go through our sky. You could never conclude that. That's why the ancients thought that the earth was flat and that we live in a geocentric world, meaning that everything revolves around us.
Right.
Okay? Something to keep in mind. A Major League Baseball player steps up to the plate. Pitcher throws the ball, 90-mile-per-hour fastball. That batter can see that ball so well that he can hit it with his bat. And then an outfielder can tell from the sound and the sight of that ball that it's going to go over his head. So he starts running backwards. He runs backwards fast enough to jump up against the wall in the outfield and make a game-winning catch. He saw that ball leave the bat and was able to catch it. This happens all the time. Just go watch the baseball games or go watch some montage videos of amazing MLB catches on YouTube. Those same two players observing the moon and the sun would not be able to conclude that one is going around us and we are going around the other just from observing them. They have to be told so. People say our eyes trick us. We can't trust our eyes. NASA says this. All three theories flatter.
So, you mean to tell me that NASA tells people that you cannot trust your eyes? You can't trust your eyes? Why can I trust my eyes? What I see is what I see. Period. Don't trust yourself. Don't trust your eyes. Don't trust your judgment. Trust us. We know better. Just trust us. Don't trust yourself. Don't trust what your eyes see. Because what your eyes see is wrong. Right? Come on, man.
Earth,
Come on now.
convex sphere, and concave sphere are all saying that we are seeing illusions, or it's our perception, or there's vanishing points. Basically, we can't trust our eyes. But baseball players can hit baseballs. My high school physics teacher actually used to say that one of the most amazing things about this world was that an outfielder can judge where a ball is going to go and catch it. I like to think I had the greatest physics teacher ever. Some of the people that went to high school with me might agree because he was a great teacher. Maybe we're a little biased, but he was awesome. So anyway, I saw the Rectilineator documentary, and the experiment is very good. It seems good. It was done in the late 1800s in Naples Beach, Florida. Posted a link down below in the description. You can watch it. And so I started thinking about this. How can we do this easier? Because the experiment requires a lot of beach and it requires the surface of water. Because the theory is that the surface of water must follow the shape of the earth, whether it's flat, concave, or convex. Water has to contour to it. If these pictures from space are real, which we don't really have any pictures for space, another thing I should throw in there, you can look.
Okay, which brings me back to my next, which brings me back to the next thing I have to say. Okay, now, like he said, the ocean has to tend to the shape of the earth, right? Okay, so if the earth is round, like people say it is, some of the ocean has to go around the earth and be upside down, including other countries, right? I know you remember, this is for people who grew up in the 80s and 90s. I know you remember where they used to always say you can dig your way to China, right? You can dig your way to China because China's supposed to be on the earth, the other side of the globe, right? So that means China is upside down. That means some of the ocean is upside down, right? So according to their science, what goes up must come down. So how is the ocean still on the earth and not falling down because it's upside down, right? Or people, or buildings, or cars, or anything that's riding upside down? That makes no sense at all. It makes no sense at all. It makes no sense at all. Another way you can prove that the earth is flat, right, is what's the fastest way to get from one point to another? The fastest way to get from one point to another is a straight line. This is according to their science, right? Point A, point B, straight line. Now, if you take two boats, one is supposed to be over the curvature, well, both over the curvature, whatever you want to call it. Okay? You start them off at the same time, the same amount of miles. I bet you both would end up in the same place at the same time. Now, if one was over the curvature, so-called curvature, it would take that boat a little longer to reach to destination than the other boat, because it has to go up over the curvature first, and then level out, then go when the one is going straight towards the destination in a straight line. These are experiments that can be proven. They can prove that the earth is flat and not round. All right, let's get back to Mullins.
This all of the images we have from space are actually composites. NASA admits to this. It's no big secret that they piece these things together, which is very surprising. Why can't we just get a picture and a video of it? I don't know.
So why would all of the pictures you have in space, you piece them together? Why you couldn't just give a whole picture? I'm gonna show you why in a minute after this clip, in my next clips. I'm gonna show you why. And it's distinctively different than when one set of group of people who just want to get pictures of the earth from a certain miles away. It's not to prove the earth is round and flat, they just want to give pictures of the earth certain miles away, right? Which, on the other hand, a company, a subgroup of NASA is trying to prove that the earth is round and not flat. Totally two different pictures. I mean, look totally different. But we're going to get to that in a minute.
Unless you want to believe that the 1990 Galileo footage is real, even though the clouds remain stationary for a full 360-degree spin. I mean, that can't be possible. But I mean, it's 24 hours. But anyway, everybody's arguing over this. Well, not everybody, but the flat Earth community, concave community. I got really into this, and I also got really turned off by it because people are starting to fight with each other over this. Human beings are fighting over their world.
So now, they can't prove to us that the earth is round, so now they come up with another idea that the earth is concave. Which one is it? Is the earth round or is the earth concave? If you can't make up your mind, then why should I believe you when you can't even make up your mind between the two? Makes no sense. All right, let's get to the next clip. Let's get to the next clips. All right. Now this is going to prove to you the difference between NASA, a sub company of NASA, and just independent people who just want to give pictures of the Earth a certain miles away. This first one is the independent group that want to give you pictures to let people see Earth 100 feet above the Earth, right? Let's get to it. It's muted because I don't want to get demonetized from it. If I let it play all the way, they'll demonetize me. So I muted it and I put it to the part where it's going to show you that they are filming the Earth 100,000 feet above it. Alright, now they're using balloons and a non-mirror camera. You have to use a non-mirror camera, right? So let's see. Let's see what kind of footage they get. Now this is the footage. Let's show you. This is the footage they gave you, right, from the camera that they used 100,000 feet across. Show me where the curvature is. All the way out here, there should be a curve somewhere. Where's the curvature? Look to me that the earth's flat, right? Now, there's no curvature, right? Now, let's go over here to the company that uses, that's a part of NASA. Why the earth looks like it has a curve, but the other one don't? This is 97,000 feet. So the other one is 100,000 feet. This is 97,000 feet. Do you see the difference between each one? It's because they're using a fisheye lens on this one, right? A mirrored fisheye lens on this one. If you know about cameras, you know that fisheye lenses make things look circular when you film them. Let's go back over here. Flat. Why does it look flat? Why does it look flat? Why does it look flat? You tell me. You tell me why it looks flat on this one. No curvature. Straight across, no curvature, flat. Now granted, the earth is a circle, yes, but not a sphere. It's a difference between a circle and a sphere, right? Let's look at the difference between a circle and a sphere. This is a circle. A circle is a flat surface, round shape. This is a circle. Right? Now let's see. Let's see what it says. Alright. What is a circle? A round plane. Plane means flat. If you look at the word plane, it means flat. A round plane figure whose boundary, in parentheses, circumferences, consists of points equidistant from a fixed point, the center, right? Which is, they give you an idea right here, to the right, where the mouse is. They give you an idea right here. It's a flat surface, but it's circular. Right? Now, let's look at a sphere. This is a sphere, not a circle. It's a sphere. Now, let's see what they say what a sphere is. A sphere is a round, solid figure or its surface, with every point on its surface equidistant from its center. Right? Now, it's a solid. We didn't see. It didn't say a circle was a solid figure, but a sphere is a solid figure. Let's see what else it says. A sphere is a geometrical object in three-dimensional space that is the surface of a ball. Do you see what I'm saying? That's the difference between a circle and a sphere. They say that the earth is a sphere. A sphere. But we're saying that the earth is flat and a circle. Now let's get back to the videos. Now we see that what they have proven without wanting to prove it, that the earth is flat and a circle. This been proven. You don't see no drop off. If it was a drop off, it would be a drop off right here. There is no drop off. It goes straight across. Straight across. Straight. Let's wait till it goes level. Straight across. Look, it's level straight across. Right? Now, over here, as you can see, when NASA tried to prove it, it looks like a sphere. Why does it look different? Do you see what I'm saying? And you can tell it's a fish eye lens because when the camera goes up and down, look, it goes curved, and then when it goes back up, it goes straight. And then when it goes back down, you can see the lines move up and down when the camera goes bobble around the place. Now look, level. Now when it goes down, see how it curves down? Now it's back level again. Then it curves down. That's how you know you're using the fisheye lens. And every time that they give you a picture of space, right? Let's look at this. Every time they give you a picture of space, this is what it looks like. Oh, wait a minute. My bad. Earth. Still spelled it wrong. Okay. Now. Wait a minute. Let me put this. Here we go. Okay, now. Alright. So, as we can see, this is a picture of Earth from space, right? Let me know what you see. They always give you a half view of the picture, and when they actually give you a whole view of the picture, right? This does not look like it's from space. Period. And it says top NASA photo of all time. Okay, if you took this from space, right? If you look around this Earth here, guess what? You see no other stars. None. The background is black. Where are the stars? This is supposed to be from the moon. Where are the other stars? Where are the other stars? There are no stars around anywhere. Where? But they took this from space, right? They took this from the moon, right? You should see other stars, right? You should see other bodies around, right? But we can see it clear as day from the Earth. But when they take pictures from the moon of the Earth, you see no stars. The background is just black. This picture was not taken from the moon. Let's look at another one. Why you only give us half half of the earth. If you're above the earth, I should be able to see the whole thing, like we see in the other video, other 2 videos. Why you only give us a portion? I'm pretty sure your camera that's on whatever that is, the space station, or I know it pans around. So why not give us the whole picture? Here's another. Not the whole picture. See, when you take half, when you show half of the picture, it makes it look like it's a curve. It makes it look curved. Instead of taking the whole picture, like these videos here, doesn't look curved. Because it shows the whole thing, not just half of it. So, we're taking all that into account. As we can see, there is some deception amongst this. I'm not done yet. This is just part 1. This is part 1. Part 2 will be done pretty soon, which I will bring forth more damning evidence showing that the earth is flat and not round. I'm going to bring evidence from ancient cultures. I'm going to bring evidence from the scriptures, which is historical, proven historical documents. And I'm going to bring from professionals. So, you can believe NASA all you want. You can be the peon that you are and believe NASA all you want. But I go off of what I see and off of what I research myself. Self-talk is the best way to go. Because you know what you teach yourself is going to be right. What they teach you and what they tell you is what they want you to, what they want you to know, or want you to hear. It could be farthest from the truth. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video, man. Share the video to everyone who actually want to know the truth about everything. This is a channel where we always going to speak truth, regardless of who want to say something or who want me to apologize or whatever. This channel is always going to speak the truth and bring the truth forward. The guy Brian Moses that was speaking, do you know why he's not speaking anymore? It's because they threatened his family and they threatened his career. If it's not true, why would you do that? You could just easily go online and say, oh, he's a nutcase. But you couldn't do it. You know why you couldn't do it? Because he was speaking the truth. So you had to take desperate measures. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. Anyway, like I said, like, subscribe, comment, get them likes up, man. Get this video to at least 100 likes, man. Get it to at least 100 likes. I got almost 200 people on my that subscribe to my channel. Get it to at least 100 likes, man. Let YouTube put this in an algorithm so other people can get to this truth. You love the truth, man. Help the truth go forward. How you do that? You like the video, and you comment, and you share the video. If you watch my videos, which a lot of you do, because I get more views than what I have subscribers, subscribe to the channel, man. Come on, man, help the channel grow. The truth has to get out there. And if you really about the truth like you say so, you will help the channel get out there. There's not many people on YouTube actually doing this type of things anymore. So, like, comment, and subscribe, man. And with that being said, this is the unapologetic truth. The channel where we speak the truth and don't apologize for why. Because the truth, I'm gonna say it one more time, the truth will never apologize. I'm out.